Yeah, it just popped up on mine. Simone, good morning to you. Right and early. We got your question. All right, here we go. 8 a.m. Chicago City Soccer Club here in downtown Chicago. I am with Coach Craig and Coach Slavo. Welcome to our morning show, week 2. The first week we had everybody on to get to know the coaches. If you haven't, check out our YouTube channel. And then each week now we're going to kind of single out different coaches and get to know them a little bit better. So please send in any questions on the Zoom chat or through Facebook, and I'll try to get to them as well. Gents, how are we doing?
Fantastic, how are you?
Fantastic, yeah. How are you?
Good. I'm good on a good Wednesday hump day here. So let's dive straight in. We'll start with Coach Slavo. Little quick introduction again, Slavo, for those new viewers that might be on.
My name is Slavo. Actually, my name is Rafailovic. I'm coming from Serbia, a beautiful country on south of Europe. Despite everybody thinks that we're Eastern Europeans. And my position in the club is technical director. I deal mostly with older kids, under 12 and up.
Awesome. What about you? What about you, Mr. Craig?
My name is Craig McDonald. I am from Scotland, a small fishing town called Arbroath. And I am the technical director for U8s to U12s.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, welcome. And again, I see Coach Pedja and Coach Simone are tuning in. Hopefully they've got loads of questions. Simon Wheeler, or the Wheeler family, thank you for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to dive in quickly and I'm going to get a little poll up here as well when I ask this question. So those on the attendees on Zoom, you can answer this quick as you can. I'll give you 5 seconds. But first question, Craig and Slavo, we'll go with Craig first once the poll is done, is how long have you been with the club? So first poll up, who has been at the club the longest? Is it Coach Slavo or is it Coach Craig? Connor is on, Coach Stu is on. See who can get this right in 3, 2, 1. And got to show up. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so 5 seconds. Pick which one. Is it Slavo or is it Craig? Who's been at the club the longest? Ooh.
Simon, I can tell you you're wrong.
All right. Can you guys see this screen, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so those who pick Slavo, you are correct. So we'll start with Coach Slavo on this one. How long have you been with the club, Coach Slavo?
So I'm in the club for 8 years. I started when the club was named Lakefront. I don't know how many of you know that. I think that Simon, actually, you were already in a club that year, or maybe you come a year later. I can't remember now. But I started as a volunteer. I actually supposed to work in some other club, and I met Nick and Chris in that time, and I wanted to learn a little bit more English, and I came to volunteer and help them with the club. And it was I did that for 6 months, but somehow we clicked. We share the same passion and same approach, same philosophy for soccer, and I stayed now for 8 years, and I think I made the right choice.
Awesome. Love it. Coach Craig, what about yourself?
I have been with the club for 7 years now. I joined the club when they just went to Chicago City, so just a year after Slavo. And I was there for the big push out to be Chicago City.
Love it. Okay. Any questions on those? Stick them in the chat for us, guys, as we go along here. I'm going to start with Craig on this one. Can you tell our viewers about your journey from good old Scotland to Chicago today?
It was a big plane that brought me over here.
You cannot believe I came the same.
When I was younger, I used to play cricket. I seen the gentleman that used to coach me. It used to be an English guy called Mr. Plomer, and just seeing him the way he was with all the players and things like that pushed me to go into coaching. So after that, I did college, and I did sports coaching in college. That pushed me into the soccer coaching. I did some local teams. After a couple of years, I spent a few months in France. I did football training, soccer training in France for a few months. I came back, finished off my college. Then there was an opportunity to come across to America with MLS camps. So I came across, I worked in Texas doing AYSO, things like that. I had a year at home, then came back again. I went to Illinois. I was in Schaumburg, to Hoffman Estates, to Pegasus, which used to be the Fire. And then I knew Nick from the summer camps when I first came out. And just his direction, his thoughts, his beliefs were the same as mine. So there was an opportunity to come down to Chicago City, which I took with both hands, and I jumped straight in with that.
Awesome, awesome. Real long journey, a lot of experiences, a lot of different cultures in there, which I think, you know, you bring to the table, which is always nice. I'm going to stick up another poll here. What do you, where's my next one? What sport did Coach Craig have other success in? Was it rugby, cricket, hockey, or basketball?
You've not put water polo. I had water polo.
Oh, forgot about that one.
I'm joking.
Did you?
Oh, they're all going for cricket. Just because he mentioned it, it might have been a trick question. Here we go. 3, 2, none of the above. Stu Madison said someone's gone for rugby. And the answer, Craig, is?
It is cricket. I managed to won the Scottish Cup twice when I was younger. I had Scotland trials as well to make the Scotland team.
Love it.
I couldn't handle the pressure.
You would have been a superstar for a Scottish team, right?
Did you ever
have a cricket team?
Did you ever think about playing baseball? It's kind of, it's not the same, but there is some similarity. Yeah? There is something that you throw and something that you hit after.
Baseball came from cricket.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But did you ever think about playing? No?
Nah, I'm good.
Maybe we'll open up an arm for a baseball club in Chicago City.
Yeah, maybe we should try to have one, like at least for recreation for start. I played first year when I came in the United States. I played softball for a year. It was hitting the ball. It was not that easy, but catching the ball it was easy because you have that big glove on it, like stick the hand there.
But as Stu says, maybe it was rounders he was playing.
Maybe.
Right, Slavo, give us some your journey from Serbia to the bright lights of Chicago. How did you get or end up here?
That's a mystery. I still don't know how I end up coming in United States, but I grown up playing soccer, playing a lot. Played for three different clubs in Serbia, in my hometown, all three of them. And it was somewhere when I was 21 and playing for seniors. I had a very, very good coach who coached me in youth soccer as well. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name. I remember his nickname, Pile, but he introduced me to coaching and said that he was very honest to me and said, "You're probably not going to make it."
Oh, you're breaking up, Slavo. Craig, can you hear him? Go again, Slavo.
Can you hear me again?
There you go.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I was around, yes, his internet connection is not the best. When I was around 21, I think 22, when I stopped playing, I mean, I had that great coach whose name was, I forgot his name, but I remember the nickname, which it was Pile. And he introduced me to coaching and told me that I might not be a professional, I'm not going to make it to be a professional soccer player. And I took his advice and started educating myself in coaching. One of the first jobs I have, again, as a help to a friend who had a small club in Serbia. Now it's a very big club, actually, in a second largest city in Serbia, Obilic. And that's how I started. Then for a while, I was wandering around Europe and I didn't know what exactly what I'm going to do. But then I ended up here, came in Chicago, met you all guys here in Chicago City or like from that time, and everything just clicked. And here I am.
Here you
coaching
are.
Now, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Again, stick some questions in the chat if you've got any for our two coaches on anything that they may have come from Scotland and Serbia. A lot of experience here. Go again.
To add on this, that Craig played rugby and cricket. Many of my players know that, but I don't know how many of you know that I actually was a very good volleyball player as well. I played that guy in the center. I don't know how I decided with 14, I'm going to 14 or 15, and I'm going to just do soccer. Maybe I should stick with the volleyball. I don't know, but yeah, it's a good sport, yeah, volleyball.
Was it on the beach or indoors?
No, it's indoor. I play now. I still play sometimes. I know Tom has the same passion for volleyball.
out here on the beach, yeah?
I'm goalkeeper coach. Yeah.
Love it. I have another poll here, if I can find it. Is on Coach Slavo this time, and it is, what position as a soccer player do you think Coach Slavo played? Was he a striker? Was he a defender? Was he a midfielder? Or was he a goalkeeper with that height? Oh, someone else come in and make this one.
Still, you're wrong.
Oh.
I was in every club that I played ever. I was always starter, just so you know.
All right, Slavo, what was the answer?
Well, I see that there is a 33% defender and 33% coach striker. And despite that, yes, today I'm in a recreation soccer brilliant striker. I was actually a center defender. I was defensive midfielder and a center defender, but mostly center defender. And that's kind of cursed. And Peja knows that. Coach Peja as well. He's taller, same as me. He knows that that's a curse in Serbia. The moment they realize that you're tall, you're right back in the back line because you can clear ball.
I love it. I love it. Win those headers in the air.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to stick on you for another little poll. So as you're talking about your growing up in Serbia and your journey, and you did mention you played volleyball, but what other sport does Coach Slavo like to watch just as much as soccer? And I'm on Facebook here as well. Tom, love volleyball, gave the thumbs up. How are you, Tom? Boban Slavo gives a great shout out to you from Serbia. Joe Walls from the Lakefront days. Some of the MLS guys will know him. Ryan Byrne from Ashburn. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Conrad Patrick from London. And Ashton Veal, how are you doing? So we've got 20% American football, 17, 67% basketball, MMA. We've got 17% on Facebook. You can type in if you want to answer this as well. Slavo, what is the answer?
The answer, yeah, it's very obvious here, 67%. The correct answer is basketball. Like all the Serbians, I'm very, very big fan of basketball. Unfortunately, I was not very good basketball player. But I don't know how many of you know. I mean, Europeans probably know that the nickname for our country is a land of basketball. Despite all of us like soccer a lot, Serbia is known about basketball. We are probably the best in the world, or second best if we count NBA players who are on some different level. But we always second behind them. Even had that pleasure of beating them twice, I think, already on World Cups and Olympic Games. Last one, we beat American players on last World Cup, although we didn't finish first. But yeah, we are very good players. And I'm a big supporter of Crvena Zvezda, Red Star. It's a little bit different in Serbia. It's like in Spain and Italy when we have like a sports clubs that they have all the sports. So Crvena Zvezda, Red Star, we have basketball, volleyball, water polo, and I support them in all sports. But yeah, basketball is big, and we're in Champions League in both basketball and soccer.
Yeah, and I did, before I met you, I never knew any of this. I didn't know basketball was big in Serbia, so it was kind of cool to get an insight to that. And we've watched 1 or 2 games with you, but it's kind of cool to see. Awesome. Right, let's get back to the lovely Scottish accent over here, Mr. Craig. And the question to you is, what do you like the most about working with an organisation like Chicago City Soccer Club?
As I said previously, I've been around a number of clubs. This is probably the first club that I've been to. All the coaches work together. They all push each other, and we all strive to challenge each other and have the best for the kids possible. Others are like the opportunities from, you could be a starting out player that's never played soccer before, or you could be a competent player who plays for ODP. We're always going to have a pathway for you, and we're always going to have many coaches willing to help you achieve your goals.
Love it, love it. And I love it's always been a team with our coaches. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is your favourite coach in the club as a person, not as a coach?
I'll say Mr. Omar.
Yes, the legend himself. Love it. Right, Slavo.
I see some answers here. Who's the favorite coach of Craig and Stu? You're right. It's himself.
Bit of banter coming in from the coaches. I like it. So Slavo, yeah. So same to you, Leah. What do you like working, with Chicago City? We were probably your first Chicago club and probably your first US club, and you've been here now nearly 8 years. So
Well,
in the growth and the ins and outs. So let's get your view on this.
that's true, and even might look like maybe I'm not competent to answer that because I'm working only for one club here, but because of my curiosity, I know all the other clubs how they work, and I constantly explore to see what other clubs do, and all through the education I learned how other clubs work, and I can say that I was very lucky to pick the right one because the culture around club, the atmosphere in the club, the coaches, everything is absolutely fantastic, and it's very good and challenging environment for me personally to work with so many knowledgeable people because they challenge me to grow every day, literally every day. Working for the club, I mean, the best thing is that our constant desire to, let's say, make it perfect, if I can say something like that. So every year we change, every year we explore. We are not afraid to try new stuff. If they don't work, we are not afraid to say, okay, this doesn't work. We made a mistake here. We're going to make it differently. Yeah. So that constant changes in the club that makes this club so great. And like Greg said, we spend hours and hours sitting there in the office, thinking about how we're going to make this better experience for all our players. That's something unique that other clubs don't do. And that make a difference. And I think that a lot of people here in the city recognize that. Yeah. That's why we are successful in what we do.
Good answer. And I'll agree with that as well. I think as a director on that, it pushes me every day. And, it's good that I always feel we give each other a voice and we're always listening to each other. And we all want to evolve personally and professionally. I think that's key to pushing this forward. So good answers. I like it. Okay. Last question for both of you, and then I'm going to get to our Hedges questions, and I have a few other questions from Facebook viewers here as well. Jamil, how are you doing? Jamil Sacho just signed in on Facebook. Hope you're well. Okay, so we'll start with Slavo on this one. We could go in, we can talk about this all day, which, like you said, we do. But how do you see the future of soccer looking like here in Chicago, and also, just in the States in general?
Well, States are the first country that I came in, and I was a little surprised that I didn't know that about States. I knew that soccer is not the most popular, but when I came, I was surprised how many people talking about other stuff, but not soccer. Like in our countries, the first topic that shows up will be soccer. Well, that things change, and that over the 10 years now that I'm here, that changed a lot. And me looking on tryouts every year, how many players are coming more and more and more. I think the future really looks good because kids are finally, should I say people or kids here realize how beautiful sport is, and from that standpoint, it really looks good because it's going to be more and more players. More players going to bring more quality. That will be.
Yeah, it's nice being.
That's kind of my thing.
And it's nice being part of something, right, that you can see growing as in a bigger picture.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, good answer, Mr. Craig. Your thoughts on the future?
Since I've been here in Chicago itself, every year there's always progression. So there's always pathways. So there are always more opportunities for children. Just for us, especially, we've got national and international events that players can attend, which raises the level. So I can only see the level in Chicago getting higher and higher. I could go into the topic about DA and everything like that. That's another conversation, and we could talk a while about that. But I think the opportunities are getting more and more in America and Chicago. There's more and more opportunities for soccer players to challenge themselves at a higher level and the level that they need.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to add something I've heard to say about the future is that I'm glad to see how much United States actually invested in education for coaches, because that's the thing they're going to bring quality, and all these kids are very happy to have so many good quality coaches. Education is really good, and it's better and better every year. They adapt a lot of stuff from and learn from other parts of the world, which they are the best, and they always do that here in the United States in everything, not just in soccer. So that's good. And I'm sure it's going to be better and better how years are in the next years.
A great point in terms of there is a lot of negativity around US soccer, etc. But it is getting better, and it does improve, and it does evolve. And we kind of just have to support it, right? And the same as everything else, giving our feedback. But it's definitely on the right track, I believe. Right. First question from Coach P. We'll start with Craig on this one. What style of play would you like your teams to play? What kind of style?
Yeah, I like my teams to be attacking, expansive and attacking. So finding the spaces, being direct. Can we find a striker? Can we get up people and support? So yeah, my style is just mainly attacking, expansive play.
I like that. And I think Craig, there's a lot of the younger players. I mean, you get a lot of the flair out of them, don't you? You do work a lot on those individual 1v1 skills.
Like at that young age, it's encouraging. It's all 1v1s, encouragement, the self-belief, and trying to get that into the players just to progress.
Yeah, no, you do a good job of that. Allowing them to be creative and express themselves is always nice to see in your games, in your sessions. And Coach Stu, the opposite of Scottish football, which is what? Coach Slavo, style of play.
Well, I mean, we teach all the styles. I mean, both those major styles and direct style of play and possession style. We as a club and me as a coach, I little bit prefer in youth soccer possession style just because give more opportunities to players to learn, because there is more touches on the ball, there is more decision making, more receiving, more shots, more everything. So from a development standpoint, it's better to be possession style. Now, every team is different. We're a big club. There is a different levels of players in every team. So if I give advice to coaches, and because I'm in 40s now, I can say younger coaches to give advice. I always wanted to say that. They should pick like based on their qualities they have in a team, what kind of style of play. Maybe not every team can play position style, but definitely development-wise, position style of play is a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think that's a key point you touched on at the end is, we all watch the EPL and Spanish football and we try to replicate what we see on TV. And a lot of times that game is very different to what we're coaching out there. And you can't just stick on the new trend that's out there. It's got to be aligned with your personnel. I like it. Thank you, Coach P. Coach Ryan is sent in. What coach or coaches do you like to learn from in the professional game? Coach Slavo.
There is a lot of good coaches out there. That's a question I always have few coaches, but I don't know, like it's a mixture probably. I mean, you cannot talk about it. I don't mention Guardiola, who's like innovator. That's what I like about him. And me as a coach, I would like to have something like that. The people who say after like he was an innovator, bring some new stuff. Definitely Cruyff has the biggest influence of all of us because he changed soccer a lot. And after that, I don't see many more changes. I mean, maybe Guardiola is the next one, but there is a lot of other good coaches. I don't know. There is some good Serbian coaches that I like. They're very tactical. There is Carlo Ancelotti, I think is brilliant tactical coach. I'm afraid to forget somebody now, but yeah, there is a lot of good coaches. I mean, a lot. One of now seeing you Irish, I remember one coach that I like from Ireland, Martin O'Neill. I know you're not the biggest fan of him, but I like him a lot. I remember him in Aston Villa. I remember him a few more. He was in Ireland. I don't know why you don't like him, Craig, guys. But he's a good coach as well. Yeah.
I feel it.
There is a lot of good coaches.
That year with 5 English internationals, and then it just plummeted. We won't go into that.
Pochettino, yeah. Pochettino as well, one of the younger coaches, and Klopp, like unbelievable coaches, absolutely. Lovely. What I like about Klopp, like mentioned that, like to connect with, I know it's a little bit longer now, to connect with what I said as advice to young coaches, what you have in a team, this is how you should coach. And Klopp is a good example of that. He came in a team that is not very expensive, but he saw what he has, and that kind of soccer he plays. Not always the most beautiful soccer, but it's very effective. Yeah.
Yeah. Good answer. I'm sure Coach Craig's going to pick someone Scottish.
I'm just going to mention one because I do all the development stuff with the younger ones. There's a coach at Rangers called Michael Beale. He has a lot of stuff online, and I take a lot from him. And again, most of my stuff's all for like development of the younger ages. So his stuff I can take on board.
Love it. Okay, before I get to some more questions, we're going to do our last poll, and it's on Coach Craig, and it's going to be, can you guess how many states Coach Craig has lived in the United States? Is it
happy
2?
State, a sad state.
Is it 4, or is it 8? And then we'll get to Coach Stu's question last. Oh, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm going to end the poll. Craig, McDonald, tell us how many other states and which ones they were.
When I first came out, I worked in Texas. I spent quite a few months there. Then I spent some time in Maine, and then some time in Vermont. So that's 3 states I've lived in, and of course I've got Illinois, which I currently live in as well.
So 3 was the answer, 29%. All right, last question of the morning. As we wrap up here, we're going to go to Coach Stuart Madison. And who was your hero growing up, Coach Craig?
Is it a soccer-related question or just in general?
I don't know. Stu, do you want to get more info, or you just any? Is there anyone in soccer? In soccer, in football. Jamil, yes, sorry, Jamil, you were wrong.
So I would say for my hero, Ali McCoist. Ali McCoist growing up.
Who was Ali McCoist?
How dare you? Absolutely brilliant he used to be one of the top scorers in the Scottish League. He was Mr. Rangers, the same as Barry Ferguson. But Ali McCoist used to just bang in the goals. Absolutely brilliant.
Good stuff. Slavo? And I forgot, we do have a couple other questions that were sent in on Instagram. So,
I guess he will be Franco Baresi as a hero. I was playing on that position, and he was the guy who was have some interviews in the newspaper. I remember always that, and that's how I played when I was center defender. He answered his playing philosophy is when player with the ball comes on him, one of those two gonna stay with him. Is that gonna be a ball or soccer play? He didn't matter. He preferred ball, but if ball doesn't stay, it's gonna be a soccer player. And that was always my philosophy when I was playing it. So I remember that, and I can say he was my hero. Yeah.
You're teaching our Chicago kids that, right?
I kind of mentioned it a few times in some competitive games, but I'm trying to teach them to focus on the ball. Yeah, definitely.
No, good stuff, good stuff. All right, some questions in from Instagram yesterday. One was, who is Coach Craig's favourite Celtic player? Baza! It was actually Coach Stu that sent it in. Who's your favourite Celtic player? Come on.
The problem is this goes live, and I can't really be saying that to other Rangers fans. Will see that.
This is true.
So I'll say Mo Johnston.
Hey, he played for both. Well played. Slav, I'll throw this one over to you. Are we only having physical tryouts for the new players this year and not for old players?
But technically, that is not correct, because we actually have trials for all the players. Firstly, I mean, all our players that are in the club currently now, they're on trials every day, on every practice, in every game. So we are very familiar. They're evaluated through the whole year. And basically that's their tryouts. Even before on those tryouts, we are just comparing our players to new players. So technically we do have tryouts for everyone, but new players definitely need some kind of tryouts, because we don't know them, in something that we have to focus for a day or two and see them.
Exactly.
But we have tryouts for everybody.
Yeah, and Saturday morning I'll be running a webinar where we will answer more of those questions towards the future. Cool. Another question that came in on Instagram was, this is a very broad one, so we can't really go into it, but we can give some advice. How do I get recruited for college?
I can take that one as well. Well, sounds from a question that somebody gonna find you somewhere and recruit you for a college, which probably not gonna happen. Even there is a lot of showcases. Even if you play on DA and stuff, that doesn't happen. It happens to very few players. The best way to be recruited is you to persuade something like that. So what you have to do as a player, firstly, you have to pick 4 or 5, narrow down to 4 or 5 colleges academically that you would like to, would you like to attend, and then consult coaches, us in a club, will help you with the soccer part of that. And then you have to prepare some little video clips, some little bio of you, and send a personal email to the coach of those colleges. Has to be a good email, proper grammar, and everything, because that has a lot of influence on colleges. On coaches, they don't open everything. And once you do that, then again, you can contact your coach, and we'll see, do we know those coaches, how we can contact and make a call, introduce you, or help with any other help. But that's how it works. You have to do a lot of it on your own, and we are here just to guide.
Yeah.
We have actually, Coach Stu is here on webinars, but he's in our club. He's the guy who's working on college. He can help a lot. So that will be my first advice. Contact Coach Stu, and he will guide you through all that. But every coach can help you with that in a club. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'll just add to it, it's a lot of hard work, like anything else in life. So you've got to put the graft.
It's a lot of hard work. I forgot, like I have also have to attend during the summer some of those camps that college coaches have. That's always good, and there is a lot of stuff that you have to do in those camps, and introduce you to a coach, constantly talk with coaches, asking how to improve and other stuff. Yeah, ask Coach Stu, he will guide you through that.
Coach Stu, our college advisory, reach out. If you reach out to the club if you don't have his personal email. All right, last question comes in from Coach Simone. Who would win a soccer match between Scotland and Serbia, and why?
Easy question.
Go on then.
Greg, do you wanna? It's better to come from you.
I'll say my answer first. With 100%, it would be Serbia.
Yeah, I think that realistically, you never know with Serbian team. Yeah, we can beat the best and we can lose from weak teams, but Serbia has a pretty good team. At this point, I think it's better than Scotland team.
I would agree.
All right, good stuff. All right, well, I want to thank all our attendees, all our coaches for your support. Those on Facebook, we had a good little turnout there as well. Any last comments from you guys?
No, just try keep working away at home. Try work on as much as you possibly can, just to get in preparation for when we get back outdoors.
Good stuff.
My message to soccer players will be something that I read yesterday, and everybody knows it, but I just had it and it's in my mind. And somebody was talking about how the question was how to become professional soccer player. Is it enough to work only on practice? And the answer on that, no, it's not. At least in that text was at least 13 hours a week. I don't know how they pick 13, but 13 hours a week you should work. Every player should work besides the practice that you're attending. I would say more than 13 hours. I always compare with every player should think about their parents, how much they started to do what they do. To become a lawyer, it's not enough to practice twice or three times to get a book and learn. Like for an hour and a half to become a lawyer, you have to study 10 hours a day. Same as a soccer player. There is no any difference. If you don't work that much, you're not going to become a professional soccer player.
Right.
So that will be my message to Adam, Craig. Work hard. That's the only way you can become a soccer player.
Okay, brilliant stuff, guys. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Hope our viewers enjoyed. Again, next week we will have 2 to 3 other coaches on, getting to know them and their journey and their story. So have a great week, or rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you, Slavo. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.